Hello, welcome to Blade of Scripture, where we read the Bible daily, except today we are doing a chapter review of everything we've read so far. Genesis chapter 13, Abram and Lot separate. Abram and Lot, they're traveling together, but they both amassed so many people and so many animals that the land can't really support everyone that's with them. So they were like, okay, it's probably best if we just separate and go our own way. Genesis chapter 14, this chapter is a little bit hard to summarize just because there's so many different names going on, but pretty much it is a battle of a bunch of kings. And then at the end of the battle, we're left with 4 kings against 5. The kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled. And then since they fled, the other kings decided to raid Sodom and Gomorrah, and they took Lot and all of his possessions with them. Some random man who escaped ended up going to Abram and was like, hey, these people have Lot. And then Abram's like, I'm gonna go get him back with my 318 trained men. So Abram takes all of these men and goes and defeats these kings. He rescues Lot, rescues all the people that was with Lot, and got all of his possessions back. The king of Sodom hears that all these other kings got defeated, so he's like, okay, I'll come back. And then he meets Abram, and Abram gets blessed. Abram gives the king 1/10 of everything that he received, and then the king's like, no, just give me the people, you can have all the goods. And Abram's like, no, you keep everything because you're not gonna tell me that you made me rich. Okay, buddy? So he doesn't accept anything other than the food that him and his men eat, and then the men's share of everything. Genesis chapter 15, the Lord's covenant with Abram. The Lord comes to Abram in a vision and is like, hey, you're going to be greatly rewarded. And Abram's like, how am I going to be rewarded? Where's all my stuff going to go? Because I don't even have any kids, so all my stuff has to go to a servant in my household. And then God's like, I will give you a son of your own flesh and blood. Go outside, count the stars if you can. That's how many offspring you're going to have. Then God also tells Abram that he's going to receive this land, and also says, by the way, your descendants are going to be enslaved for 400 years, but I'm going to punish the people that enslaved them, and then they'll return to this land. Genesis chapter 16, Hagar and Ishmael. This chapter is irritating. So at this time, Abram's wife, Sarai, is not giving Abram any kids. She can't get pregnant. So Sarai is like, okay, you go sleep with my slave Hagar, and then we'll build a family through my slave. Abram hears this and he's like, okay. So Abram sleeps with Hagar, gets her pregnant, and then Sarai starts being like, I actually don't like her. I don't like that woman that you got pregnant, even though I told you to get her pregnant. I don't like her. And then Abram's like, girl, you told me to do it. You can't be mad at this because this is your fault. And then Sarai starts treating Hagar like dog doo-doo, so Hagar runs away. As Hagar's fleeing from Sarai, an angel comes and finds her and is like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And Hagar's like, I'm running away from my mistress because she sucks. And then the angel's like, no, go back to your mistress and submit to her. The angel also said, when you give birth to your son, you're going to name him Ishmael. And also tells her that he's going to be a wild donkey of a man, and that he is going to be against everybody, and everybody's going to be against him. So Hagar has a sweet little touching moment with God where she's like, I've seen the one who sees me. It's really sweet. And then she goes back to Sarai, and then she gives birth to Ishmael.